but discipline activity is hardly to dampen passion in an region how has grown up of an advertisement alcove to a world event in less than rather than a 10 years. So, how lot cash are human beings manufacturing of public print? Fee for such users is quite low standard, about £100 for an Instagram position, she says. But it can advance rather rapidly following how. One day you get to 30,000 followers. For a Vogue or Beautiful position, you could be looking at about £750, she says. Rohan Midha, the operating CEO of influencer agent PMYB, adds how little, or micro, influencers can get pay in complementary means time greater accounts will get so in the six figures. Length-standing relationships among brands and influencers tend to be more than advantageous, for both of parties, compared in solitary posts. Which we include found via our information is how AOF posts Dong T conduct to a very plausible endorsement, he says. This top results happen while the influencer promotes above a much longer time of period. Though so, Kot says Instagram accounts in about a millionth followers can team £10,000 for a AOF position. But the amount of a next does not definitely equal to the amount of a pay receipt. Down there are lot variables in partnerships among brands and influencers, she says. Kot explains, on Instagram, for sample, he's more than costly if you include a bounce up for the mark's website. He's more than costly if down there are links to specific means, he's as well more than costly if thou remaking Instagram stories or if thou written on it in yours blog post and yours connecting to it in yours Instagram. It all comes as a pack how can be sold out to the mark and increase yours cash importance. So which do promising influencers hoping to do a residing of their on the internet present requirement to do. This basic conception is how human beings buy of human beings they confidence and feast, says Rohan. If an influencer has the capacity to do their auditorium instrument, later brands are potential to pay them to contribute a food or facility. Kot adds it is essential no to position to lot sponsored substance, addition, yours auditorium will get really vocals if thou remaking to lot. As well, he's essential to position brands how job for thou, she says. If thou usually related in beautiful and later thou depicted in a domestic food how might sit superior in a mumia blogging later human beings are departure to shove behind versus how, they're not departure to attract in he. The selection of plate can as well influence capacity partnerships. End of Instagram position by Pointless blog. Instagram stories is now enormous, she says. How certainly has more than force currently. Thou get a lot of human beings who are looking at their phones on their replace on their way in job, so Instagram is an lightweight way of looking via human beings as feeds thou love thing, you clicking on it and buy it. He's a really lightweight way to do it in the night. YouTube, she adds, is seen as more than concentrated to a junior auditorium. So which is it precisely how has done affecting so famous, and why are brands lathe to it above conventional advertisement? I believe he's since you get a slight bit more than deep to the history, says Kot. While thou looking at an advertisement for thing, down there's no private history over how but while you pursue an influencer later down there's already thing thou solved on how man how you love thou got a knowledge of who they are and thou already purchased in their way of life and while they position a food down there's already a connection down there for thou.